I was a little worried the sewing machine wouldn't go through the plastic of that holster, but it's easier than you think. To go around the curved part of this holster, I'm just hand cranking the sewing machine one stitch at a time. Going real slow because it's really easy to get off course here. I'm not 100% thrilled on the way this stitching turned out. I mean, that's a pretty ugly job that we ended up doing. It's honestly my first time sewing through plastic, for one, but I think part of the reason I'm having trouble is it wasn't necessarily the plastic itself, but because there's so many holes that were already in the plastic from the previous stitching. I think the needle on the sewing machine was finding those holes at some point and sewing through them, and then at other times making, you know, totally new holes through the plastic, and it was just kind of throwing off the stitching. I mean, I could feel it every now and then. It kind of, you know, the job just totally seemed to go off course. And I was literally just hand cranking the sewing machine most of the time to try to keep it steady. But I think if we would have started with a fresh piece of plastic, it would have been a whole different story. But for now, it's good enough. This doesn't have to be perfect; it just has to work. The next thing we need to do here is to make the strap that's going to hold the pistol into the holster, and that's going to be two parts. There's going to be the part on this side that's going to be really short. It's going to have a spot where your thumb unsnaps the strap, and there's going to be a part on that side that connects to the other one. To do this, I've taken a piece of this strap and I folded it over and then back over onto itself to create a little spot with 3 layers. I've done that already with the sewing machine. I don't know how well that's showing up, but we're gonna just go ahead and cut that off now that we're done sewing that up. We're going to keep that from fraying. Alright. And now the stud side of our snap is going to go right in the middle there. And then you can see I got this tag end hanging off of there. Now the reason, if it's not apparent, why I folded it over a few times is basically just to make it more stiff. And we're going to take that tag end where it's just still a single layer. We're going to sew that to the holster. And then the stud into the snap is going to be right there. And when we're ready to draw the weapon, we just hit that spot with our thumb to unsnap it, and then draw the weapon.